So everything that we do today will be done seated in the chair, and I think you'll be delighted to discover just how much we can do from a yoga perspective seated. And so as always, I'd like to invite you to begin your yoga practice by finding a comfortable sitting position. So sit in a way that you feel the most at ease. And so it's challenging for our nervous system to come down if we're uncomfortable in our bodies. I'm just going to adjust my iPad a little bit so that I'm on gallery view. Then an invitation to roll your shoulders back and down. And then to take your hands together at your heart center. So it might be palms together, maybe palms open. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, choose another placement for your hands. We never forfeit balance to come into a pose or movement. As ready, lift your heart to your hands, bow your head to your heart. And an invitation to allow yourself to consciously enter into the present. And setting aside whatever concerns, worries you may have had before the class. For the duration, knowing that you can come back to that after class. And relax your arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And then shake your hands vigorously. And so reaching up to the sky, waving to our ancestors. And then coming forward a little, waving to our ancestors. And so I never tire sharing the story about the woman I had in my class for over, she lived to be well over 100, and we were doing this practice one morning. She said, I feel like my ancestors are waving back. And so just like you're shaking water off your hands, allow your arms to float down.
Progress. Not that I know of. I don't know, man.
And one more time, reaching. Bye. This time on your exhale, Nahasana. Woohoo! It's yoga time. So at this time, I'd like to invite you to sit in a space in a way that you're supporting your spine. And so maybe, if possible, moving away from the back of the chair enough so that you're sitting forward on your sits bones. And soften your gaze, so maybe your gaze moves downward. Ground down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. So our Buddha belly is soft, spine is long, shoulders back and down. Relax your arms by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. Lift up crown of your head. So you might imagine red on top of your head and it's pulling you up to the sky. Our chin is level with the floor, tucked in slightly. Allow your facial muscles to soften and release. Our attention moves inward. Notice your alignment, knees, ankles, hips, shoulders stacked over hips. And then when you're ready, without changing anything, an invitation to bring your awareness to your breath. And so placing your hands on your Buddha belly, if you'd like, in a triangle around your navel center. So on inhale, belly moves out. On exhale, belly moves in. Keeping one hand on your yoga belly, bring your other hand to your heart center. And maybe noticing the pattern of movement between your upper chest and your belly. And then see if you can begin to extend your breath. So when we extend our breath, it engages the relaxation response, allowing us to let go of holding stress and tension. At any point, if you notice your mind gets distracted and wants to wander off, know that that's okay. That's the nature of our mind. Simply bring your awareness back to your breath. It's our old friend, our breath. And lastly, see if you can add a quality of softness to your breath. So you might imagine you just tasted something delicious. Or if you have a fur kid, you might imagine that you're petting your fur baby. And see if you can bring some of that same softness to areas of your body where you're holding stress or tension. And so our breath is long and smooth and soft as we breathe in, as we breathe out. And just for a few more breaths, or as long as feels comfortable, an invitation to keep this simple breathing exercise flowing. So if it's challenging to focus on your breath, an invitation to bring your awareness to the sounds around you. Sound is always in the present moment. So I can hear the sound of neighbors mowing their backyard. I can hear the sound of the wind moving through the trees and my little half acre. And then maybe noticing the gentle tone of my voice, and in a loving way, bring your awareness back to your breath. Our old friend, our breath. And so just for a few more breaths, or as long as feels comfortable, keeping this simple breathing technique flowing. And when it's ready, allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Your natural rhythm, maybe observing the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. Then draw up your chin towards your chest and gradually blink your eyes. So we are falling awake, not asleep. Falling awake, not asleep. And so I'd like you to notice if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. And so anytime we practice these simple breathing techniques, in a way it acts like a bridge between our body and our mind. So the body-mind connection we hear so much about in yoga. And so I'd like to invite you to keep that lovely breathing breath awareness throughout your practice. And so it's ready, relax your arms by your side, and then again, shake your hands vigorously. So wiggly fidgets. A little bum dance in there, a little more vigorous this time. Woohoo, it's summertime. Is it the dog days of summer? All right, so roll your shoulders back and down just a few times. And let's repose. So I'd like you to ground through your feet. Center and ground through the soles of your feet. So we want to keep our connection with Mother Earth. And we tend to start losing that. Root down through your sits bones. Maybe notice where your bum and your thighs are in contact with your seat. Our Buddha belly is soft, spine is long, shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. So imagine that thread pulling you up to the sky. Our chin is level with the floor, tucked in slightly. And so from here, let's transition into a practice of mindful movement. And so as ready, reach your arm up to the sky. So reaching up as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. So 3 more times, same side, reaching up. And then slowly float your arm down. So I like to think of these gentle movements as a moving meditation. So this time, let's explore linking our breath with our movement. On inhale, reach up, full length of your inhale. On exhale, float your arm down, the full length of your exhale. It's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And we'll practice the movement on the other side. So it's ready, reaching up to the sky. So as high as feels comfortable for you. And then slowly float your arm down. So gentle movement, reaching up to the sky. Slowly float your arm down. So this time, let's add a gentle breath to the movement on inhale. So the inhale begins the movement. On exhale, float your arm down the full length. So the exhale ends the movement. So it's as if on our inhale, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. On exhale, a beginning, a middle, and an end. Relax both arms down by your side or wherever feels most comfortable for you. And this time, let's reach both arms up to the sky. Take a look between the palms. Notice if they're facing each other, if that doesn't create tension in your neck. Fold your fingers in, press into the palms of your hands, or it might feel comfortable to place your hands on the back of your head. And together we can shout out, I am. I can. I can't hear you. And I will. Woo-hoo. And with a sigh of relief. Ah. Grass is attacking me and shaking. So I'd like you to bring your beautiful hands together, rub them vigorously, energize your hands, warm up your hands. So there's research now that shows what we've always known, that our hands are connected not only to our heart, but to our mind as well. So move your hands, take them so that they're just a little bit apart. So you might feel a little warmth through your feet. Maybe explore bringing them a little further. And then moving them closer together. And then rub your palms together again. And this time as you're energizing your hands, I want you to notice where in your body you're holding tension. And then see if you can bring some of that loving energy from your hands to that area. And then one more time, rub your palms together. And I'd like you to think of a new area. So tuning in. And place your hands there. And so moving on, let's come into a gentle practice to release the tension in our neck. And so you're sitting comfortably, effortlessly up. Then an invitation to bring your chin gently towards your chest. And then look up. So maybe your eyes meet where the ceiling meets the wall. And so the moment we begin these gentle movements for our neck, it is a cue for our nervous system to become more balanced. And then as ready, bring your head back to neutral and then bring your ear towards your shoulder. So is your belly soft? Is your breath quiet? And then move side to side. See if you can create that little Buddha smile, little half smile. And then as ready, bring your head back to neutral. And turn your gaze looking just past your shoulder, pause, and then visualize moving your chin up and down slightly. So imagination is powerful. Move your head back through center, turn a soft gaze looking just past your opposite shoulder. Pause. Visualize moving your chin up and down slightly. Bring your head back to neutral. And so we've moved our cervical spine through its range of motion. Now we're going to move down along our spine. So of course we know our spines matter. So we'll transition to a practice called cat and cow. So it's ready with your hands on your lap. On inhale, drawing your hands in towards your hips. Lift your heart, lift your solar plexus. So we're arching our back. On exhale, sliding your hands towards your knees, round your back. As you round your back, draw your belly in towards your spine. And so inhale, arch. Exhale, round. And so in your own time and rhythm, an invitation to keep this gentle massage for spine flowing. And so move in a way that feels natural for you. So natural that your movements and your breath become one. And slowly come on back to neutral spine. Take a moment. And then an invitation to reach towards the floor. So holding on to this underside of your chair for stability. So maybe inhale to one side, exhale to the other side. And so if it works for you, you can imagine that you're seated between two panes of glass. So on our shoulders stacked over shoulder. As ready, come on back to a neutral spine. Rest your hands on your lap. Take a moment and we'll come into a seated twist. So twisting from side to side. And so this is a gentle twist. We're not moving into our full range of motion. I notice that your hands naturally want to glide into towards the hip you're twisting towards. So the sliding of hands along our thighs increases our proprioceptive awareness, knowing where our body is in relation to space. And then it's ready, come on back to neutral spine. And then tap your fingers. So if you want to play a brain game, you might explore moving from your pinkies to your thumbs. And then maybe air piano. And so we're getting this synovial fluid, Mother Nature's WD-40 fluid into all the little joints in our hands. And turn your palms face up, and an invitation to take your fingertips to your thumbs. So they might touch, they might not. So focus on what we can do. And stretch your palms, fingertips to your thumbs. Stretch your palms, fingertips to your thumbs. More time, stretch your palms, fingertips to your thumbs. And then when you're ready, extending your arms, stretch your palms. And then make tight fists, draw your elbows back. Stretch your palms, tight fists, draw your elbows back. So you might feel your shoulder blades moving towards each other. Last time, stretch your palms, tight fists, draw your elbows back. When you're ready, relax your hands on your lap, and then I'd like you to circle your wrists. So we'll do one wrist at a time. So in one direction, and then circle in the opposite direction. And then switch sides. So you might notice that one wrist is tighter than the other. So as human beings, we tend to be tighter on one side. And then reverse the direction. And then as ready, release your arms by your sides. We're gonna get some synovial fluid into our elbow joints. Palms face forward, bend your elbows, palms face away, and release. Spiral your palms open, bend your elbows, palms face away, and release. One more time. Spiral your palms open, bend your elbows, palms face away, and release. And so now I'd like to invite you to imagine that you're riding a motorcycle. So flex and extend your wrists. And then when you're ready, let's go for a yoga swim. So water is cooling, feminine, cool, feminine energy. Yin. And then reverse the direction. And then maybe breaststroke. Oh, God, grass. Side stroke. And maybe butterfly. And release. Rest your hands on your lap, palm up or down as desired. Let your belly soften, your breath come back to its natural rhythm. And so moving on, I'd like you to bring one arm down by your side. And we're going to spiral our palm open and then down. Palm up, rolling your thumb back, and then down. And then if you like, maybe explore bringing your arm a little higher. And then as ready, palm face down. I want you to imagine that you're moving your hand through honey. And reaching up, palm face up. And one more time, hand moving down through honey. Whew. And switch sides. So arm by your side, turn your palm face up, and then rotate down. Maybe reaching up a little higher if that feels okay for you. And then as if you're moving your hand through honey, palm face down. And one more time. Reach up to the sky, palm face down. Shake it. Woohoo. Wow, an eagle just flew overhead. So beautiful. And so, what shall I invite you to practice? So lots of yoga toys in my yoga toy box. But so let's actually repose. So make sure your feet are placed evenly on the floor. Your sits bones are sharp on the chair. Spine is long. Shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. So I'm thinking it might be good to practice eagle pose. So of course this is modified seated in the chair. And so when you're ready, bend your elbows and then reach across, cup your elbow. Draw that same arm into the midline. Allow your shoulder to soften away from your ear. On an inhale, maybe reaching up a little higher. And then release down. And then I want you to imagine that beautiful eagle perched high up in a tree. And release. And so other side, bend your elbows, cup your elbow, draw your arm into the midline. Let that same shoulder soften away from your ear. If you'd like, you could inhale, reach up a little higher, and then release back down. Eagle pose. And release. Shake it out. So I'd like to do a practice called breathing exercise, or not exercise technique, called breath of joy. And so, of course, our breath happens naturally, but we can also consciously use our breath to calm our nervous system or to energize. So it's early in the day, so I'm thinking it'd be fun to do breath of joy, which is energizing. So breath of joy is an inhale. It's like you're sniffing 3 times in through your nose unless you're congested. And then exhale after the 3rd inhale. And so we can add arm movements to this. And so here we go. Inhale, 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 and drop. So 2 more rounds. Breath of joy. Inhale, 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 and one more time. Inhale, 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 and good stuff. Okay. And so from here, I'd like to transition into a practice called finding our balance. And so the best definition of balance that I've heard to date is by Matthew Sanford, who he's a spinal cord injured, and he would say that balance is the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so worth repeating, balance, the equal distribution of presence throughout our entire body. And so with that in mind, if you know balance is a challenge for you, we're going to be moving forward and back in the chair. So I'd like you to make sure you have what you need, whatever device you need to keep you stable in your chair. And so sitting up nice and tall, lengthen your spine so we can create space in our vertebrae. And then hinging from the hips, come forward a little. So noticing that sometimes when we come into a forward fold, our chin wants to jet up. So tuck your chin in slightly. And then as ready, rock back up. And so in your own time and rhythm, an invitation to keep this gentle movement flowing. And so it's not about seeing how far we can fold forward. Really, it's about just coming to that just right amount of effort and ease. And sometimes it can feel really interesting to close our eyes as we practice these gentle movements. Remember your little Buddha smile. And then slowly come on back to a neutral spine. And then it's ready. Take your hands in towards your hips and then circle your heart forward and then circle back. And as you begin to feel your hips, your lower back soften and release, see if you can go a little bit deeper. So shoulders move towards our knees. Of course, we're not going to come all the way down. And then an invitation to reverse the direction. And so bring your awareness to the space in front of you. Bring your awareness to the space beside you. Notice how that makes you feel. Bring your awareness to the space above you, and especially to the space behind you. And an invitation to trust that you are being supported. So I like to think in terms of we. And then slowly make your way back to stillness. Relax your arms by your side and rest your hands on your lap, palm up or down as desired. And let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Let your belly soften. And so moving on, I'd like to come into a side bend. And so take hold of the underside of your chair, release your opposite arm by your side, spiral your palm open. And so I'll teach a few variations. So if you have shoulder stuff going on, it might feel good to place your hand on your shoulder. Alternatively, it might feel okay for you to reach up and over. Avoid collapsing forward. And so turn your gaze down towards the earth, down towards the floor to release your neck, and then come into your side bend. So if you are a wheelchair user, you might have your armrest. Maybe you're resting your forearm on your armrest. And then breathe into your rib cage. So can you imagine breathing in below your rib cage? And then as ready, come out of the pose. And then we'll come into it on the other side. So take hold of the underside of your chair, release your opposite arm by your side, spiral your palm open. So maybe your hand comes to your shoulder. Maybe you feel okay with reaching up and over. Turn your head so you're looking downwards to release your neck. Come into your side bend. Make sure your sit bone stays on the chair. And so can you feel you're creating space in your rib cage? And slowly come out of the pose on this side. Take a moment and notice how you feel. So not about what we look like in our yoga practice. A diagnostic tool is how do I feel? So no judgment. Yoga meets us right where we are. And so from here, I'd like to come into a twist. So if possible, bring your feet so they're a little wider than outer hip bone distance. Make sure that your knees are tracking over your ankles. It's okay to have your toes turned out a little. And so as ready, on inhale, lengthen your spine. So you're creating space in your vertebrae. And then reach across to your opposite knee or thigh. Bring your other hand beside you on the chair behind you. So you'll notice we're already into the twist at this point. So unless it's contraindicated. So you have osteopenia, osteoarthritis. If you do, this is your pose today. Alternatively, if you'd like to explore going a little deeper, we can inhale, lengthen our spine, and then exhale, beginning from the base of your spine on up, going into your twist. Our head turns last. And see if you can avoid the temptation to move your head to its full range of motion. You feel, notice how it feels to untwist your head a little bit. And soft Buddha belly, quiet breath. And slowly unwind, come back to a neutral spine, take a moment. And we'll come into the twist on the other side. So inhale, lengthen your spine, exhale, twist. So eyes are closed softly, focused inward, or soften your gaze. And slowly unwind. So let's rock and roll, moving in and out of the twist. So make sure you go into the twist on your exhale. And finish up the movement that you're on. Come on back to a neutral spine. And so the twist, side bends, pretty intense spinal movement. So we need to realign our spine. And we can do that with a seated forward fold. And so take hold of the underside of your chair, lengthen your spine, and then hinging from the hips, come forward with a flat back. So breathe into your lower back, or you can imagine that your lungs are in your lower back. If it feels okay for you, you might feel comfortable with relaxing your forearms on your lap. And then let your head hang slightly, maybe nodding yes and no to release the tension. And then as ready, slowly come back up by pressing down through your inner heel. So it might be an energetic pushing down. Place one hand on each of your knee. Or knee. Come on, back seated. Whew. And so moving on, I'd like to transition into practice of, well, I think I'd like to practice sun breath, first of all. So meditation on the heart. And we'll transition from there into sun salutations. And so as ready, take your hands to your heart center. So it might be palms open, maybe palms together. If this placement of your hands makes you lose your balance, maybe placing your hands on your Buddha belly feels a little more, it feels better. And so when you're ready, on inhale, extend your arms up and away. And then making soft fists, draw your hands back to your heart center, your Buddha belly. And so in your own time and rhythm, an invitation to keep this gentle heart opener flowing. If you'd like, imagine the sun at your heart center. And on your inhales, as you extend your arms up and away, imagine the radiant light of the sun radiating out all around you. And then gather that light and bring it back inside. So it's a symbol of the light that's always inside us. Inhale. This time on your exhale, making a bumblebee sound, a humming sound. So maybe humming the letter M. M. Inhale. So you might notice that the humming sound lengthens our exhale. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center. And maybe notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. So a little shake out. Prepare to move into sun salutation. So do make sure your feet are placed evenly on your footrest or on the floor. Sits bones are sharp on the chair, spine is long, shoulders back and down. Lift up through the crown of your head. So imagine that beautiful thread pulling you up to the sky. Our chins tucked in slightly, level with the earth. And so come into your mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, coming into a gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. So you may take hold of the underside of your chair, chin tucked in slightly. Pressing down through your inner heels, rest your forearms on your laps. We'll come into downward facing dog. So baby cobra, place your hands on your lap, draw your elbows in, lift your solar plexus, lift up through the crown of your head. On exhale, cat and cow, round your back. As you round your back, slide your hands towards your knees, chin in. Inhale, arch. Lift your heart, lift your throat. On exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your navel in towards your spine. As ready, come back to a neutral spine. So this next pose is warrior one. So you might be visualizing the pose. So remembering that visualization, imagination is powerful if you're not doing the physical movement. So an invitation to step your foot underneath your chair, toes tucked under. If you'd like, you can add the opposite arm. So warrior one. Float your arm down. Step your foot back. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Reach up to the sky, mountain pose. Maybe our hands come together in prayer down through to the heart. So we'll practice one more round. Mountain pose. Take your hands to your heart center. Reach up to the sky, gentle back arch. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Pressing down through your inner heels. So for downward facing dog, you can do forearms under lap, or if you'd like to explore, reaching your arms up on a diagonal. So arms, hands reach towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Baby cobra, place your hands on your lap. So draw your elbows in, lift your heart, lift up through the crown of your head. Cat and cow, round your back. As you round your back, slide your hands towards your knees. Chin in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round your back. As you round your back, draw your belly in towards your spine. On inhale, come back to a neutral spine. From here, we'll come into warrior one on the other side. So if possible, step your foot underneath your chair, the front of your chair, toes tucked under. If you'd like, reach the opposite arm up. Warrior one. Float your arm down. Step your foot back so your feet are approximately hip distance apart. Hinging from the hips, come into a forward fold. Reach up to the sky, mountain pose. Take a look between your palms. Notice if they're facing each other, then return your gaze on the horizon. Maybe our hands come together in prayer down through the heart. Place one hand on your Buddha belly, the other on your heart center. And notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly. And release. So we'll do a little shake out. Just gonna check the time. All right. So take a moment, notice how your breath, notice any subtle sensations. All right, so I'm going to come into mountain pose. Reach your arms up to the sky. And then I'd like you to, if possible, so you bring your hands together in prayer, maybe interlacing your fingers. Turn your palms face up, and then we're going to come into a crescent moon. Inhale, reach up, lengthen. So taking your hands together, however works for you. And other side. Inhale, reach up, float your arms down. Shake out again. Notice how you feel. So come on, seated comfortably back in your chair. And I'd like to reintroduce a yoga breathing technique that I haven't taught for a while. And so this is called 1-to-1 ratio. So it's when our inhales and our exhales are the same quality and duration. So I'm going to cue you on the inhale, count of 3, and on exhale, count of 3. So find that comfortable sitting position. So you're sitting effortlessly upright. Tuck your chin in slightly. This will help with the breathing. And so wherever you are in your breath cycle, take a nice inhale through your nose unless you're congested. Exhale slowly. And then we'll begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. 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 If my count doesn't work for you, breathe in your own time and rhythm. And so just for a few more breaths, inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And so let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. So maybe noticing if you felt a subtle shift in your energy. And so from here, we're going to practice a little bit of face yoga. And so one of the most difficult places to let go of tension is in our face. I guess because we have so many facial muscles. And so we're going to start with the practice of making nasty faces, I guess. And so when you're ready, open your mouth wide. And relax. So we're going to open our mouth wide again. This time I want you to see if you can bring your lips over your teeth. And relax. And this time I want you to see if you can bring all your facial muscles towards your nose. So you just bit into a lemon. And relax. And then make a soft fist, bring it to your jaw, create resistance. So we hold a lot of tension in our jaw after bringing that in from one day to the next. And then switch sides. And then soft fist, bring it to your third eye, middle of your forehead. So gentle pressure here is relaxing for our nervous system. If you'd like and it's available to you, bring your hand up over to the side of your head, create resistance. Switch sides. And then when you're ready, if you'd like, bring your hands to the back of your head and then press your head gently against your hands. So if you're not able to reach back there, if you happen to have a head rest, maybe placing your head, pressing your head gently against your head rest. And now I want you to massage your scalp. So as if you're shampooing your hair. A little bit of Indian head massage. And then smooth your hair out. And then take your fingertips, the outside corners of your eyebrows, and tap. Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap under your collarbones. So reach across your armpit, tap. So if you're wearing a bra, about halfway down your bra strap. Tap the outside corners of your eyebrows. Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap under your collarbones. Tap your armpit. Tap the outside corners of your eyebrows. Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap under your collarbones. Tap your armpit. Tap the outside corners of your eyebrows. Tap the inside corners of your eyebrows. Tap underneath your nose. Tap your chin. Tap under your collarbones. Tap your armpit. And release. Whew. So come on, seated comfortably back in your chair. So I'm just gonna check the time again. So in preparation for short guided meditation and your final relaxation. And so I'd like to reintroduce in yoga what's called a mudra. So mudras are hand gestures that were created to help us focus our mind. And so this is called the mudra of calm abiding. And so place your hands palms face down on your lap. If that placement of your hands doesn't work for you, place your hands in whatever way you'd like. And draw your hands in towards your hip creases. And so if you'd like, you can think of when we bring our hands into mudra as a symbol of connecting with your higher self or higher power. And then an invitation to look down and into your heart, see what you can see. And then to breathe into your heart. And so the meditations by Thich Nhat Hanh, a beloved Zen Buddhist monk, who lived to be 100, he died last year, beloved. And so breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. As my in-breath grows deep, my out-breath grows slow. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. And so come into whatever comfortable seated position you'd like for your final relaxation. And so roll your shoulders back and down just a few times. So we're not scrunching our shoulder blades together, but allowing our shoulders to soften away from our ears. Rest your hands on your lap, palm up or down as desired. Close your eyes softly if that feels comfortable for you, or soften your gaze. So soft palms, soft Buddha belly, the area between our navel and our pubic bone. Quiet breath. Allow your breath to reflect the pose. Serenity pose. Relax your jaw and clench your teeth. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Soften your lower jaw. Soften around your temples. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Wide forehead. Silently, if you'd like, on inhale, saying let. On exhale, go. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. It's challenging to quiet the mind, placing our hands on our Buddha belly, bringing our awareness to our breath. Can be helpful. So without changing anything, bring your awareness back to your breath. Thank your body again. So our bodies are the best home our mind will ever have. And now see if you can begin to deepen your inhale, lengthen your exhale. Wiggle your fingers and toes, hands and feet, waking up. Rub the tips of your fingers with your thumbs if you'd like, and come on up seated comfortably to finish your yoga practice. So, Om, peace, peace, peace. So take a moment, notice how you feel. And maybe not just after the yoga practice today, but for in the next couple of days. Just notice if you feel the effects of your yoga practice. And so the teacher me honors and appreciates the teacher in each of you. Thank you. And thank you to ConnecTogether and the Disability Foundation for providing this opportunity for us to practice yoga together. And so I'm more than happy to hang out for a few moments after class, questions or feedback. Always love to hear from you. I will move into the iPad a little closer so I can see your faces.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Bobbie. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Bobbie and ConnecTogether. Really very calming. Thank you. Do a great job.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Bobbie and ConnecTogether.
Yes, thank you very much. I have to jump off, but take care. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I have to go into a meeting right now, so. All right, thanks so much.
Righto.
Thank you, Bobbie. Thank you, ConnecTogether.
Yeah, love you, Josie. Nice to see
Bobbie,
you back. Yeah.
you wanted to talk to me at some point. Would now be a good time, or you want to do it in September or another time when you're less busy?
Yeah,